Question 1. Employment law and disability. Reasonable accommodations. During a critical transition period where existing processes are being revised to comply with updated disability accommodation policies, an employer is evaluating whether a requested accommodation is considered reasonable under the ADA. An employee with a mobility impairment requests that the company install an elevator in a small two-story office building that currently says the employer argues that the cost is too high and that providing a remote work option instead is a more feasible alternative. How should the employer proceed in compliance with the ADA? A. The employer must install the elevator, as any requested accommodation must be provided. B. The employer can refuse the elevator installation if it poses an undue hardship and offer an alternative accommodation, such as remote work, if it enables the employee to perform essential job functions. C. The employer can deny the request outright without offering an alternative, as the ADA does not require modifications to buildings. D. The must provide an alternative accommodation, but only if the employee explicitly requests one. Answer. B. The employer can refuse the elevator installation if it poses an undue hardship and offer an alternative accommodation, such as remote work, if it enables the employee to perform essential job functions. Explanation. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act (ADA), Title I employers are required to provide reasonable accommodations to qualified employees with disabilities, unless doing so would impose an undue hardship. 42U. SS 12112B5A. In this scenario, installing an elevator may pose an undue hardship due to excessive financial and logistical burden, especially in small office building. However, the employer must engage in the interactive process to explore reasonable alternatives, such as remote work, if it allows the employee to perform essential job functions. Courts have consistently upheld that employers are not required to provide the employee's preferred accommodation, but they must offer an effective alternative. EOC v. United Airlines Inc. 693F.3767 Sir. 2012. A is incorrect because the ADA does not mandate that an employer fulfill every accommodation request if it creates an undue hardship. C is incorrect because the employer cannot simply reject an accommodation request without engaging in the interactive process. D is incorrect because the employer must proactively explore alternatives rather than waiting for the employee to request one. Question 2. Disability benefits and Social Security law. SSDI eligibility. In a situation where resource allocation comes a challenge for the Social Security Administration (SSA) due to increasing disability claims, an individual applying for Social Security Disability Insurance (SSDI) argues that they should qualify based on a combination of medical conditions, even though no single condition meets the SR's listed impairments. The SSA, however, contends that none of the applicant's conditions is enough on their own to meet the disability criteria. What legal principle applies in this case? A. The SSA must deny the claim because each condition must independently meet listing. B. The SSA must consider the combined effects of all impairments when determining disability eligibility. C. The applicant can only qualify for SSDI if they have been continuously disabled for at least 5 years before applying. D. The applicant must demonstrate that their condition has single underlying cause to be eligible. Answer. B. The SSA must consider the combined effects of all impairments when determining disability eligibility. Explanation. Under 42 U.S.C. SS 423D and SSA Regulations 20 CF. SS 404.1523, the Social Security Administration must evaluate the combined effects of multiple impairments when determining whether an applicant qualifies for SSDI. Even if no single condition meets listing of impairments Blue Book criteria, an applicant may still be found disabled if their conditions, when considered together, prevent them from engaging in substantial gainful activity (SGA). This principle was upheld in Walker v. Bowen 889 F.47, 4th Cert. 1989, where the court ruled that multiple impairments should be analyzed in combination rather than isolation. A is incorrect because the SSA does not require each impairment to meet listing individually. C is incorrect because SSDI requires only 12-month disability duration, not 5 years. 42 U.S.C. SS 423D 1A. D is incorrect because an applicant does not need single underlying cause, and multiple conditions can collectively render them disabled. Question 3. Public accommodations and accessibility. Digital accessibility. While examining inconsistencies across various units of A nationwide retail chain, legal compliance officers discover that their company's website lacks accessibility features for individuals with visual impairments, such as screen reader compatibility and alternative text for images. Customer with visual disability files lawsuit under Title Roman of the EDA that the company is violating accessibility requirements. The company argues that the ADA does not apply to websites, only to physical locations. What is the most likely legal outcome? A. The company is correct. The ADA only applies to physical spaces, not websites. B. The court will dismiss the case because the customer can shop in store instead. C. The court may rule that the website is subject to ADA compliance under Title Roman if it is considered public accommodation. D. The company must comply with Section 508 of the Rehabilitation Act instead of the ADA. Answer C. The court may rule that the website is subject to ADA compliance under Title Roman if it is considered a public accommodation. Explanation under Title Roman of the ADA 42 U.S.C. SS 12182. Public accommodations must ensure equal access to individuals with disabilities. Courts have increasingly ruled that websites operated by businesses offering goods and services to the public must be accessible. In Robles v. Domino's Pizza LLC, 913 F.3898, 9th Sir, 2019, the court held that the ADA applies to websites that have next to physical place of public accommodation. While federal law does not explicitly outline digital accessibility requirements, the Department of Justice Dodge and courts have referenced Web Content Accessibility Guideline WA 2.1 as standard. A is incorrect because many courts have ruled that the ADA applies to websites. B is incorrect because the availability of physical store does not exempt business from ADA website compliance. Gill v. Winn-Dixie Stores Inc. 242 F. Sup. 31315S. D. Fla. 2017. D is incorrect because Section 508 of the Rehabilitation Act applies only to federal agencies, not private businesses. Question 4. During a critical transition period where existing processes need to be modified to comply with disability rights regulations, an employer is faced with an employee who has requested a new accommodation due to a progressive disability. The employer has already provided past accommodations but now argues that further accommodations would constitute an undue hardship. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act ADA, how should the employer proceed? A. The employer may deny the request outright as they have already provided accommodations in the past. B. The employer must engage in the interactive process to determine if a reasonable accommodation is possible before claiming undue hardship. C. The employer can terminate the employee if their disability prevents them from performing the job even with accommodations. D. The employer is required to grant any accommodation requested, regardless of cost. Ved. Answer B. The employer must engage in the interactive process to determine if a reasonable accommodation is possible before claiming undue hardship. Explanation. Under the ADA, Title I, employers are required to provide reasonable accommodations to employees with disabilities, unless doing so would pose an undue hardship. An undue hardship refers to significant difficulty or expense that would fundamentally alter business operations. Before making such a determination, the interactive process must take place. Option was incorrect. The ADA does not set a limit on the number of accommodations an employee can request. A disability may change over time, necessitating new accommodations. Option B correct. The interactive process is a legal requirement under the ADA, ensuring that both employer and employee work together to explore possible accommodations before deciding whether one constitutes an undue hardship. Option C incorrect. Employers cannot terminate an employee solely because of a disability if reasonable accommodations would allow them to perform their essential job functions. Option D incorrect. The law does not require employers to grant all requested accommodations. Employers may reject a request if it is unreasonable or imposes undue hardship. Key legal references 42 U.S.C. SS 12111-9. Definition of reasonable accommodation 42 U.S.C. SS 12112b5a. Prohibition of discrimination in employment EOC. Guidance on the interactive process. Question 5. When implementing new protocols in a shared environment that must accommodate employees with disabilities, a company updates its workplace technology to improve efficiency. A visually impaired employee raises concerns that the new system is incompatible with screen reading software, limiting their ability to perform essential job functions. Under the ADA and Section 508 of the Rehabilitation Act, what is the company's legal obligation? A. The company must revert to the previous system, as any change that negatively impacts disabled employees is unlawful. B. The company must provide an effective accommodation, which may include modifying the system or providing assistive technology. C. The employee must personally find a way to adapt, as companies are not required to change fundamental technology. D. The company is not obligated to act, as digital accessibility laws apply only to government agencies, not private businesses. Answer. B. The company must provide an effective accommodation, which may include modifying the system or providing assistive technology. Explanation. Under the ADA, Title I, Employment, and Section 508 of the Rehabilitation Act, employers must ensure that technology-based barriers do not prevent employees with disabilities from performing their essential job functions. This obligation includes modifying technology or providing it to devices when reasonable. Option is incorrect. The company is not required to revert to the old system, but it must make reasonable accommodations. Option B, correct. The employer must ensure that the employee has an equal opportunity to perform their job, which may involve updating software or providing assistive technology, e.g., compatible screen readers. Option C, incorrect. The burden is on the employer, not the employee, to ensure workplace accessibility. Option D, incorrect. While Section 508 primarily applies to federal agencies, the ADA extends digital accessibility requirements to private employers. Key legal references: ADA Title I, Reasonable Accommodations in Employment, Section 508 of the Rehabilitation Act. Digital Accessibility Standards, Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, WAG. Question 6. In a multi-location scenario where consistency requirements must be balanced with disability accommodations, a national hotel chain standardizes its booking process using an online reservation system. A guest with a disability files a complaint, stating that the website does not provide adequate accessibility features for screen readers. Under the ADA Title for what is the company's obligation? A. The company must ensure that its website complies with accessibility standards and allows disabled individuals to make reservations independently. B. The company is only required to provide accessibility features at its physical locations, not on digital platforms. C. The company can require disabled individuals to call separate reservation line instead of modifying the website. D. The company is exempt from digital accessibility because websites are not considered places of public accommodation. Answer A. The company must ensure that its website complies with accessibility standards and allows disabled individuals to make reservations independently. Explanation. Under Edit Title Roman through public accommodations, businesses that offer goods and services to the public must ensure equal access, including digital accessibility. Option was correct. Courts have ruled that websites of businesses open to the public must be accessible to individuals with disabilities, e.g. Robles v. Domino's Pizza LLC. Option B, incorrect. The ADA applies to both physical and digital environments. Businesses must ensure digital access in addition to physical accommodations. Option C, incorrect. The ADA does not permit segregation. Separate call-in lines are not valid alternative to website accessibility. Option D, incorrect. Courts have consistently ruled that websites are public accommodations under the ADA. Key legal references: 42 U.S.C. SS 12182. Prohibition of Discrimination in Public Accommodation WAG 2.1 Guidelines. Digital Accessibility Standards Robles v. Domino's Pizza LLC 2019. Website accessibility under ADA. Question 7. While analyzing the root causes of sequential problems in a company's supply chain, leadership notices that different regional warehouses experience delays at varying levels. Some delays are due to vendor inconsistencies, while others result from internal processing inefficiencies. What is the best approach to address these delays comprehensively? Implement universal policy that applies the same standardized process across all warehouses regardless of regional differences. B. Conduct detailed analysis of each region's challenges, implement customized solutions, and establish feedback loop for ongoing adjustments. C. Reduce reliance on regional warehouses by consolidating operations into fewer centralized locations for better control. D. Focus only on vendor-related, as external delays are beyond the company's direct control. Answer. B. Conduct a detailed analysis of each region's challenges, implement customized solutions, and establish feedback loop for ongoing adjustments. Explanation. Option incorrect. Standardizing all processes without considering regional differences may not address specific inefficiencies. Option B correct. Targeted approach that analyzes and customizes solutions ensures both external vendor and internal processing delays are addressed effectively. Option C incorrect. Consolidation may reduce flexibility and lead to higher transportation costs. Option D incorrect. Addressing only vendor-related delays ignores internal inefficiencies that contribute to the problem. Question 8. In a multi-location scenario where consistency requirements must be balanced with disability accommodations, a company updates its workplace training materials. However, employees with hearing impairments report difficulties accessing the audio-based content. What is the company's legal obligation under the ADA? A. The company must provide captions, transcripts, or sign language interpretation to ensure accessibility. B. The company can provide an alternative training module without audio, but only if it is significantly different from the original content. C. The company is not required to modify existing training materials, if doing so would involve significant costs. D. Employees must find external resources to supplement their training if and not access the original content. Answer A. The company must provide captions, transcripts, or sign language interpretation to ensure accessibility. Explanation. Option is correct. The ADA requires employers to ensure training materials are accessible. Option B incorrect. The alternative training must be equivalent in content to the original. Option C incorrect. Cost is not an excuse if reasonable modifications can be made. Option D incorrect. The burden is on the employer, not the employee. Question 9. During a comprehensive review of a process that needs improvement, a retail company finds that its customer service response times vary significantly across different locations. What is the best strategy to standardize and improve response times? A. Implement a uniform customer service script that all locations must follow. B. Identify best practices from high-performing locations and tailor them to each region's needs. C. Outsource customer service to third-party provider to ensure consistency. D. Focus only on locations with the slowest response times and leave high-performing locations unchanged. Answer B. Identify best practices from high-performing locations and tailor them to each region's needs. Explanation. Option incorrect. One-size-fits-all script may not address the root causes of slow response times. Option B correct. Analyzing high-performing locations helps create data-driven approach that can be adapted to each region. Option C incorrect. Outsourcing removes control from the company and may not address the internal efficiency issues. Option D incorrect. Improving only slow locations ignores the opportunity to enhance overall performance. Question 10. When implementing new protocols in a shared environment, a hospital introduces a new digital patient record system. However, doctors, nurses, and administrative staff struggle to adapt. What is the best approach? A. Require all staff to complete mandatory training before using the system. B. Allow departments to choose whether they want to use the new system. C. Gradually implement the system with ongoing training and feedback integration. D. Switch back to the previous system to avoid disruptions. Answer C. Gradually implement the system with ongoing training and feedback integration. Explanation. Option was incorrect. Training is important, but a rigid requirement without ongoing support may overwhelm staff. Option B incorrect. If departments can opt out, the system will lack uniformity. Option C correct. A phased implementation allows for adjustments and support improving adoption rates. Option D incorrect. Reverting to the old system prevents progress and delays modernization. Question 11. During a critical transition period where existing processes are being replaced, a logistics company integrates AI-based route optimization. However, drivers resist using the system. What is the best approach to encourage adoption? A. Make the AI system mandatory without exceptions. B. Provide training, highlight benefits, and collect driver feedback for improvements. C. Allow drivers to choose whether they want to use the AI system. D. Discontinue the AI implementation to maintain workforce morale. Answer B. Provide training, highlight benefits, and collect driver feedback for improvements. Explanation. Optional incorrect. Forcing adoption without addressing concerns may lead to resistance and errors. Option B correct. Training and feedback ensure a smooth transition and address concerns. Option C incorrect. Allowing a choice leads to inconsistent implementation. Option D incorrect. Reverting to the old system prevents innovation and efficiency gains. Question 12. In a multi-location scenario where consistency requirements must be maintained, a retail chain struggles with store performance variations. What is the best approach to ensure uniform customer experience? A. Allow each store to operate independently based on local preferences. B. Implement standardized procedures while allowing minor location-specific adjustments. C. Require all locations to strictly follow a single policy without exceptions. D. Rotate store managers frequently to balance performance. Correct answer. B. Implement standardized procedures while allowing minor location-specific adjustments. Explanation. Option was incorrect. Too much autonomy can lead to brand inconsistency and uneven service quality. Option B correct. Standardization with flexibility ensures consistency while addressing regional needs. Option C incorrect. Strict uniformity can reduce adaptability and lead to inefficiencies. Option D incorrect. Frequent management changes may disrupt stability and fail to address root issues. Question 13. During a comprehensive review of a process that needs improvement, a manufacturing firm finds recurring bottlenecks in production. What should be the next step? A. Increase production speed to bypass bottlenecks. B. Analyze and optimize the bottlenecks before scaling up production. C. Hire more workers to manage inefficiencies. D. Ignore bottlenecks and focus on increasing sales. Answer. B. Analyze and optimize the bottlenecks before scaling up production. Explanation. Option was incorrect. Increasing speed without fixing bottlenecks worsens inefficiencies. Option B correct. Identifying and optimizing bottlenecks ensures long-term efficiency gains. Option C incorrect. More workers don't address systemic inefficiencies. Option D incorrect. Sales growth does not resolve production constraints. Question 14. While analyzing the root causes of sequential problems in its system, an organization notices intermittent failures. What is the most effective troubleshooting approach? A. Apply temporary fixes to restore operations quickly. B. Use a systematic approach to identify and address the root causes. C. Replace the entire system without further investigation. D. Ignore failures unless they become critical. Answer. B. Use a systematic approach to identify and address the root causes. Explanation. Option was incorrect. Temporary fixes don't prevent future failures. Option B correct. Structured diagnostic approach prevents recurring issues. Option C incorrect. Replacing the system may be costly and unnecessary. Option D incorrect. Ignoring failures increases long-term risks. Question 15. When improving a process that shows unexpected results, a company discovers that automation errors are causing inconsistencies. What should be done first? A. Manually override automation to correct errors. B. Investigate the automation system and adjust parameters accordingly. C. Remove automation and return to manual operations. D. Ignore minor inconsistencies and focus on larger goals. Answer. B. Investigate the automation system and adjust parameters accordingly. Explanation. Option was incorrect. Manual overrides don't solve the root cause. Option B correct. Diagnosing and refining automation ensures long-term stability. Option C incorrect. Removing automation eliminates efficiency benefits. Option D incorrect. Ignoring errors can lead to escalating issues. Question 16. During a major transformation where existing methods must evolve, a financial institution adopts blockchain technology, but employees resist change. What is the best strategy? A. Force all employees to adopt the technology immediately. B. Provide training and demonstrate the benefits of blockchain integration. C. Allow employees to continue using old methods indefinitely. D. Halt blockchain adoption to maintain employee morale. Answer. B. Provide training and demonstrate the benefits of blockchain integration. Explanation. Option is incorrect. Forcing adoption leads to resistance and inefficiency. Option B correct. Training and engagement ensure smooth adoption. Option C incorrect. Using old methods hinders innovation. Option D incorrect. Stopping the transformation prevents progress. Question 17. In an environment where different components must interact seamlessly, a logistics company struggles with real-time tracking failures across its supply chain. What is the best approach to resolve this issue? A. Implement a backup manual tracking system for emergencies. Upgrade to an integrated system that ensures all components communicate effectively. C. Reduce the number of tracking points to simplify operations. D. Continue using the existing system and address issues as they arise. Answer: B. Upgrade to an integrated system that ensures all components communicate effectively. Explanation: Option B incorrect. Manual tracking is inefficient and prone to errors. Option B correct. An integrated system ensures real-time visibility and accuracy. Option C incorrect. Fewer tracking points reduce visibility and increase risks. Option D incorrect. Addressing issues reactively leads to long-term inefficiencies. Question 18. While managing a hybrid approach where timing issues impact performance and firm faces delays in cloud and on-premises data synchronization, what is the best way to optimize performance? A. Switch entirely to cloud-based operations. B. Implement real-time data syncing protocols and optimize latency. C. Reduce the number of data transfers to avoid inconsistencies. D. Continue using the existing approach and adjust operations as needed. Answer: B. Implement real-time data syncing protocols and optimize latency. Explanation: Option was incorrect. Fully cloud-based operations may not be feasible for all organizations. Option B correct. Optimized synchronization ensures smooth hybrid operations. Option C incorrect. Reducing data transfers limits access to real-time information. Option D incorrect. Reactive adjustments don't resolve the core issue. Question 19. During an emergency response where multiple areas are impacted, a hospital system faces resource shortages. What is the best strategy for managing limited resources? A. Prioritize critical cases while optimizing available resources. B. Distribute resources evenly across all cases, regardless of severity. C. Focus only on short-term solutions without long-term planning. D. Wait for additional resources before making decisions. Answer A. Prioritize critical cases while optimizing available resources. Explanation: Option was correct. Prioritization ensures life-threatening cases receive immediate attention. Option B incorrect. Equal distribution may result in preventable deaths. Option C incorrect. Short-term solutions don't address future emergencies. Option D incorrect. Waiting delays necessary treatment. Question 20. In a high-stakes environment where multiple challenges arise simultaneously, a financial firm faces security breaches while also managing regulatory compliance. What should be the first course of action? A. Focus on compliance first and address security later. B. Strengthen security measures while ensuring compliance is maintained. C. Ignore minor security threats and concentrate on regulations. D. Delay security improvements until compliance audits are complete. Answer: B. Strengthen security measures while ensuring compliance is maintained. Explanation: Option was incorrect. Delaying security improvements increases the risk of further breaches. Option B correct. A balanced approach ensures both security and compliance. Option C incorrect. Ignoring threats exposes the organization to major risks. Option D incorrect. Delays leave the organization vulnerable. Question 21. When implementing new protocols in a shared environment, an international team faces difficulties due to differences in regulations and workplace cultures. What is the best approach? A. Apply the same protocols uniformly without adjustments. B. Adapt protocols to meet both global standards and local requirements. C. Allow each region to develop its own protocols independently. D. Disregard local differences and enforce a single universal approach. Answer: B. Adapt protocols to meet both global standards and local requirements. Explanation: Option was incorrect. Strict uniformity can lead to compliance issues in different regions. Option B correct. Adapting protocols ensures both consistency and flexibility. Option C incorrect. Independent protocols reduce standardization and coordination. Option D incorrect. Ignoring differences creates workplace inefficiencies. Question 22. During a major transformation where existing methods need revision, a company is integrating artificial intelligence into its customer service operations. What is the best way to ensure a smooth transition? A. Replace all human agents immediately with AI-based solutions. B. Implement AI gradually while training employees on new workflows. C. Use AI only for minor tasks while keeping the existing system unchanged. D. Wait until competitors fully adopt AI before making a decision. Answer: B. Implement AI gradually while training employees on new workflows. Explanation: Option was incorrect. A sudden transition disrupts operations and alienates customers. Option B correct. A gradual approach ensures employees adapt while AI is optimized. Option C incorrect. Using AI only for minor tasks does not leverage its full potential. Option D incorrect. Delaying adoption puts the company at a competitive disadvantage. Question 23. In a multi-location scenario where consistency requirements are crucial, a retail chain struggles with varying customer service quality across branches. What is the best strategy to standardize service? Implement uniform training programs and centralized quality control. B. Allow each location to develop its own service policies based on local needs. C. Focus only on high-performing locations and expect others to follow. D. Reduce customer service requirements to minimize complexity. Answer A. Implement uniform training programs and centralized quality control. Explanation. Option is correct. Standardized training ensures all branches meet company-wide service levels. Option B incorrect. Independent policies lead to inconsistencies and customer dissatisfaction. Option C incorrect. Neglecting weaker locations does not solve the problem. Option D incorrect. Reducing service quality harms customer retention and brand reputation. Question 24. When dealing with a complex system that shows occasional failures, an aerospace company notices intermittent malfunctions in its flight control software. What should be the primary focus of investigation? A. Identify patterns in system failures to pinpoint root causes. B. Replace the entire software system immediately. C. Ignore minor failures and focus only on major incidents. D. Rely solely on external vendors to provide a solution. Answer A. Identify patterns in system failures to pinpoint root causes. Explanation. Option was correct. Finding failure patterns helps engineers address root issues efficiently. Option B incorrect. Full replacement is costly and unnecessary without proper diagnosis. Option C incorrect. Ignoring failures increases safety risks and operational inefficiencies. Option D incorrect. Solely depending on vendors' delays in-house problem-solving capabilities. Question 25. While updating traditional approaches where interconnections matter, a manufacturing company is modernizing its supply chain management. How should they approach this update? A. Gradually integrate new systems while ensuring compatibility with existing ones. B. Replace all old systems at once without a transition period. C. Keep the traditional approach and change to avoid potential disruptions. D. Implement isolated improvements without considering overall system impact. Answer A. Gradually integrate new systems while ensuring compatibility with existing ones. Explanation. Option was correct. Gradual integration ensures smooth transitions and minimizes disruptions. Option B incorrect. Full replacement may lead to unexpected failures and resistance. Option C incorrect. Avoiding change limits efficiency and competitiveness. Option D incorrect. Isolated improvements fail to address the entire system's needs. Question 26. During a seamless transition where continuity must be maintained, a healthcare provider is upgrading its patient records system. What is the best approach to ensure uninterrupted service? A. Implement the new system in phases while maintaining access to the old system. B. Shut down the old system immediately and migrate all records at once. C. Continue using the old system indefinitely to avoid risks. D. Train staff after launching the new system to avoid delays. Answer A. Implement the new system in phases while maintaining access to the old system. Explanation. Option was correct. A phased rollout ensures no disruption to patient care. Option B incorrect. A sudden transition risks data loss and operational failures. Option C incorrect. Keeping the old system indefinitely prevents necessary upgrades. Option D incorrect. Delayed training leads to inefficiencies and user errors. Question 27. While analyzing the root causes of sequential problems in a software development project, the team discovers recurring delays in delivering updates. What is the most effective strategy to address this issue? A. Identify bottlenecks in the development cycle and optimize workflows. B. Increase the number of developers without changing existing workflows. C. Shorten deadlines to encourage faster performance. D. Ignore delays and focus only on major releases. Answer A. Identify bottlenecks in the development cycle and optimize workflows. Explanation. Option was correct. Analyzing bottlenecks allows the team to streamline development and improve efficiency. Option B, incorrect. Simply increasing the number of developers does not address inefficiencies in the process. Option C, incorrect. Shortening deadlines may lead to quality issues and increased stress. Option D, incorrect. Ignoring delays causes long-term inefficiencies and customer dissatisfaction. Question 28. When implementing backup procedures across various departments, an organization realizes that different teams have varying levels of compliance with data security policies. What is the best way to standardize the backup process? A. Establish a unified backup policy with regular training for all departments. B. Allow each department to choose its own backup method. C. Focus only on departments handling sensitive data. D. Delay backup implementation until all teams agree on a single method. Answer A. Establish a unified backup policy with regular training for all departments. Explanation. Option equals is correct. A standardized backup policy ensures consistency, security, and compliance across all teams. Option B, incorrect. Allowing different backup methods leads to inconsistency and potential data loss. Option C, incorrect. Prioritizing only sensitive data ignores the importance of backup across all functions. Option D, incorrect. Delaying implementation increases risk and leaves critical data unprotected. Question 29. During an emergency response where multiple areas are impacted, a hospital must coordinate patient care, resource allocation, and communication. What is the most effective approach? A. Implement a centralized command structure for decision-making. B. Allow each department to operate independently based on their priorities. C. Focus on one area at a time, addressing the most urgent issues first. D. Wait for the situation to stabilize before making changes. Answer A. Implement a centralized command structure for decision-making. Explanation. Option were correct. A centralized command system improves coordination, efficiency, and response times. Option B, incorrect. Independent operation leads to miscommunication and resource conflicts. Option C, incorrect. Focusing on only one area delays responses in other critical areas. Option D, incorrect. Waiting for stabilization results in missed opportunities to mitigate damage. Question 30. In a situation where resource allocation comes a major challenge, a logistics company faces shortages in key supplies while some regions are overstocked. What is the best approach to resolve this imbalance? A. Use data analytics to optimize inventory distribution. B. Continue current operations and wait for demand to self-adjust. C. Reduce shipments to overstocked areas without adjusting supply chains. D. Focus only on high-demand regions and ignore surplus stock elsewhere. Answer A. Use data analytics to optimize inventory distribution. Explanation. Option was correct. Data analytics helps predict demand and balance inventory effectively. Option B, incorrect. Passive waiting results in continued inefficiencies and lost revenue. Option C, incorrect. Reducing shipments addresses only part of the problem without optimizing supply chains. Option D, incorrect. Ignoring surplus stock wastes resources and reduces efficiency.